Yo guys, welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel. Here after our 0-0 draw against Roma at home. Not the result that we wanted or expected from the team, but all in all, for me personally, I think it's a decent result. I know some of you might disagree, especially with the amount of chances we had. We should have scored. We had so many clear-cut chances. Roma were pretty much gifting us these chances, but we just couldn't take them. And all in all, I think it's not a bad point. It's not a bad result drawing to Roma at home. Remember, we haven't beaten them at home in the last couple of years. And let's just think back to the last couple of seasons. They're not an easy team to play. Fonseca, I must give him a lot of credit. The way he's organised this team in a short period of time is quite impressive. They played some good football today, but I hardly even remember any clear-cut chances for Roma. I think there was none. I think all the saves Handanovic had to make were in the first half and they were straight at him. So all in all, a very comfortable night for Handanovic. Our defenders today were the standout performance for sure. Our midfield, we know, is non-existent, and that's pretty much why I'm happy with a 0-0 result. In the first half, it was pretty much we're getting overrun in midfield by Diawara, Zaniolo stepping back from that false 9 role, and Veretout and Pellegrini, who was pretty much man-marking, shadowing Brozovic. He was following him everywhere. The fact that Inter are currently first with the midfield of Vecino, Brozovic and Valero, and then Asamoah coming on as a substitute just says everything. Every single one of our substitute was actually a wing-back, if you think about it. Lazzaro came on, wing-back. D'Ambrosio came on, wing-back. Asamoah came on, wing-back, but moved into midfield. As we said in the match preview and before, centre midfield is a role that Asamoah can play and has played in the past and has played in the early part of his career, and that's the role that he prefers to play for his national team, Ghana. But he looked a little bit out of sorts when he came on today for Valero. He had around 20 to 25 minutes, hardly ever got on the ball, and a couple of times he lost it. But you know, it takes a bit of getting used to having a different role, especially when you've been used to just going up and down the wing. Our strikers, they've completely been on fire this season, especially the last few weeks, but they came up a bit short today. Lukaku was having a very intensive battle with Smalling 1v1. Very interesting watch, but it seemed like Smalling kind of came out on top. There was a few good moments from Lukaku as well, some good hold-up play, some good link-up play. He didn't really have much chance, apart from that one chance gifted by Veretout in the first 10 minutes or so, where he literally passed it straight to Lukaku. Lukaku tried the first time shot and Mirante saved very well. Onto that point from Mirante, he was really good. He did the usual Lev Yashin level performance against Inter of opposing keepers. When they come to the San Siro, they just turn into prime Manuel Neuer, and Mirante was no different today. He pulled off 2 or 3 great saves, especially the one against Lukaku and the one against Vecino 1v1. As I said, our defenders were definitely our standout performers. So the man of the match will have to come from one of the defenders, and I would give it to Diego Godin, who was leading the line in terms of harrying and pressing the opponents, winning the 1v1 battles, winning aerial battles, even coming forward and dribbling past players and trying long balls. He was very energetic and led by example. My disappointment or flop of the match was definitely Bairagi. Before the match, I was unsure whether he would start. The left wing back position has been the one that Inter fans are unsure who's going to start, because no one's really nailed it down this season. Asamoah, of course, has been way injured, but even when he has played, his attacking up was not brilliant, as I've said in the past. But Bairagi, defensively and offensively today, didn't offer anything really. He had one good moment where he nutmegged Spinazzola, but then went down too easily, looking for the penalty. Apart from that, when he had crossing chances, he wasn't really as good as he should be, because that's where his strength lies really. And defensively, he looks quite shaky. And in terms of his touch and general play, he just doesn't look up to the standard that he needs to be at Inter. And you could hear some of the San Siro crowd getting behind, starting to boo him. He really needs to pick his level up. Antonio Conte has been picking him. Clearly, he trusts him. He plays for the national team as well, so there is a decent player there. But we know that he's not really a starting level player. Vecino had his usual, disappearing act sometime, or misplacing passes, misplacing touches, especially in the first half. He was pretty bad. really bad actually. But then the second half, and especially towards the end, he starts to, his engine kind of improves as the game goes on. He almost scored a goal, and if it wasn't for Mirante, he almost had an assist, which Lautaro should have put away really. He completely missed the ball. But we know this is Vecino, we really can't expect much more from him. This is his limit, this is his level. For Roma, as I said, they got quite lucky. They didn't concede any goals. The amount of chances they gave to us, gifted to us, was crazy. But Mirante, Smalling played really well for them. Mancini was decent. He was caught out a couple of times, but then recovered a few times as well. Zaniolo looked like he was going to punish us today. The way he started, he beat De Vrij in a shoulder-to-shoulder battle at the beginning. I was like, whoa, this boy is on it today. But fortunately, that false nine position didn't really hurt us. Roma definitely missed Edin Dzeko up there. Mkhitaryan didn't do much. Pellegrini, fortunately, was kept quiet as he was worried about keeping Brozovic quiet. Speaking of Brozovic, he had an up and down game today. Surprisingly started at defensive mid instead of Valero, who was moved into left centre mid position. Valero had an up and down game as well. He had a few funny, cumbersome moments where he just looked like he was falling over with the ball every time he would get it. But then he improved in the second half as well, created a couple of chances, and it was decent. But we know this is not the midfield we need to win matches, especially against a team like Roma. Diego Godin, my man of the match, after the match came out and said he's not sad at all for the draw. This is a result they take. He said, when you don't win, make sure you don't lose. And you can understand exactly what type of mentality Godin has. And I agree, the season is long. He will take this draw. Yes, Juve might overtake us. They're playing Lazio tomorrow. Forza Lazio. Ciro Immobile has been on fire, so hopefully he keeps banging them in and punishes De Ligt and co tomorrow. Of course, the next match is against Barcelona on Tuesday, and we'll be turning up with this midfield. Hurts just to think about it, but let's keep the faith. I will do a preview for that one, so I'll see you for that. Leave a like, subscribe, make sure to subscribe please. It helps me out a lot, helps with the algorithm. Let me know in the comments below who was your man of the match, who was your flop of the match, and I'll see you in the next one.